They report the chaos. We reveal the agenda.
Good evening, and welcome to ATM. Imagine for a moment a city at dawn. People wake, pour their morning tea, casually hit play on a 4K film. Somewhere else, a doctor begins a remote consultation. A student logs into a virtual classroom. A factory fires up automation systems. All of these actions, done simultaneously by thousands, millions, flow smoothly, invisibly, effortlessly. No buffering wheel, no lag, no waiting. That's the world a new technology is quietly unlocking. That technology is called 10G Broadband. What exactly is 10G? In networking parlance, 10G refers to fiber-optic broadband capable of delivering 10 gigabits per second, roughly 10 times the speed of typical gigabit broadband. Technically, this is implemented via standards such as 10G-PON, also known as XG-PON or XGS-PON, a form of passive optical network. This network is designed to carry vast amounts of data to many endpoints via optical fiber, ensuring high capacity and reliability. In simpler words, if current gigabit fiber lets you stream HD video, download large files in minutes, or run video calls with some buffer, 10 gigabit fiber removes most of those constraints. With 10G, a massive file, a 4K movie, or even an 8K documentary could download in seconds. Cloud-based services become instantaneous. Multiple users and devices in a household or a city can work, stream, game, and communicate all at once without strain. Beyond raw speed and convenience, 10G is transformative. It changes the nature of what broadband can achieve. It supports not just entertainment, but the backbone for entire connected ecosystems, smart homes, real-time cloud services, and remote work. It also enables telemedicine, VR/AR interactive education, high-definition surveillance, and industrial automation. 10G lays the foundation for a future where digital infrastructure is not just a luxury, but a backbone. Another key strength of 10G-PON technology is its deployment flexibility. It can often be deployed over existing fiber optic cable paths, known as Optical Distribution Network or ODN. This makes the leap to 10G more practical and cost-effective than building brand new networks from scratch, accelerating adoption. This isn't about incremental upgrade. It's a paradigm shift. From fast internet to instant, everywhere, always-on digital connectivity. It's a revolution running silently beneath our fingertips, powering the next generation of digital experiences. 10G promises significantly faster download and upload speeds. Downloading a 20 gigabyte 4K movie could take as little as 16 seconds. This enhanced capacity supports multiple devices and data-intensive applications without compromising performance, even with heavy usage. Unlike some traditional broadband services, 10G aims to offer symmetrical speeds, meaning upload and download rates are equal. This is particularly beneficial for applications requiring high upload speeds, such as cloud computing, video conferencing, and content creation. 10G technology significantly reduces latency, the delay in data transmission. This is crucial for real-time applications. These include online gaming, where every millisecond counts, telemedicine for critical remote diagnostics, and autonomous vehicles requiring instant communication. 10G networks are designed to be more resilient and secure, reducing the risk of service disruptions and cyber threats. As the demand for faster speeds and more bandwidth grows, 10G ensures users have the capacity to access and utilize new technologies as they emerge. In the upcoming segments, we'll watch how one country, a global powerhouse, has dared to turn this vision into reality. we'll see not just cables and data rates, but ambition, strategy, and the potential to reshape how the world connects. In April 2025, a bold chapter began in global internet history. In Xiong'an area, a futuristic development zone in China's Hebei province, envisioned as a smart city of the future, a new broadband network flicked live. Not a test, not a trial, a full commercial rollout, 10 gigabit broadband service. This was made possible by a collaboration between Huawei, global telecommunications and networking giant, and state-owned operator China Unicom. Together, they pushed 50G PON infrastructure into homes and enterprises. Real-world tests stunned observers. Download speeds measured up to 9,834 Mbps, almost the full 10 Gbps promise. Upload speeds reached 1,008 megabits per second, and latency, the delay between sending and receiving data, dropped to as low as 3 milliseconds. Pause for a second. Think. What did that mean on the ground? A 20 gigabyte 4K movie, previously a download taking several minutes, maybe longer depending on network congestion, now took under 20 seconds. Streaming 8K video, cloud gaming with zero lag, virtual reality environments, smart home networks with dozens of devices operating simultaneously, all without hiccup. This launch wasn't just a technical demonstration. Official policy backing made it clear. In 2025, under a directive from the national regulator, Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, China began a nationwide push toward 10 gigabits all-optical broadband. Pilot deployments were planned not just in high-tech zones like Xiong'an, but in ordinary residential areas, factories, enterprise parks. The mission, 10G to the home, gigabit to the terminal, enabling a future of cloud services, smart devices, massive data flows. This leap is historic because, unlike earlier upgrades which were incremental, deploying 50G PON infrastructure now makes 10G commercially viable, scalable, and ready for mass adoption. It transforms fiber broadband from good enough to future-proof. But with such breakthroughs, questions emerge. Who gets access first? Will this remain confined to elite zones or spread broadly? What does it signal about China's tech ambitions, its strategy, and the global race for connectivity? In the next section, we'll step beyond cables and speeds into the implications. Because 10G isn't just about fast downloads, it could reshape power, influence, and the future of how nations compete in the digital age. On the surface, 10G internet might seem like a nice-to-have. Faster streaming, smoother gaming, seamless downloads. But look deeper. This is not consumer fluff. This is infrastructure with teeth. This is power. Because broadband is no longer just an enabler of entertainment, it is the backbone of modern societies. Education, healthcare, commerce, industry, governance, communication all rely increasingly on data. High-speed, reliable broadband becomes critical infrastructure. With 10G deployed, a country gains capabilities far beyond what earlier networks allowed. Real-time remote surgery becomes feasible. Factories can run precision automation with minimal latency. Smart cities can manage traffic, energy, water, public services in real time at scale. Cloud computing, AI training, data-heavy workloads all flourish. For the country that deploys 10G early and broadly, this gives a strategic advantage. That country becomes a hub for next-generation industries, a testing ground for emerging technologies, a magnet for investment, talent, and global interest. In the case of China, the move is deliberate. By rolling out 10G now, China signals to the world, we are not just consumers of technology, we are architects of it. The 10G launch is not simply a telecom milestone. It's a statement of technological ambition and intent. Consider the implications. With ultra-fast fiber, China can support massive data center infrastructure, cloud and edge computing, essential for AI, big data, IoT, surveillance, Industry 4.0. It can offer these services not just domestically, but globally through export of technology, cloud services, telecom equipment. This means influence over emerging global digital standards. This also reshapes economic competition. Businesses worldwide will watch where infrastructure is strongest. Multinational companies may choose to invest in regions with 10G backbone, industries that rely on low latency and high bandwidth. Media, entertainment, manufacturing, telemedicine, remote collaboration may gravitate toward China or countries with similar infrastructure. Furthermore, control over infrastructure translates into influence over data flows, digital governance, content delivery. A nation leading in 10G broadband could have outsized leverage in setting norms for digital privacy, data regulation, platform governance, standards for new technologies. And there's a symbolic dimension too. In a world still battling with patchy internet, sluggish speed, buffering, dropouts, 10G represents a leap into the future. For citizens, it is transcendence. For governments, it's geopolitical currency. For global rivalries, it's a new front. But make no mistake, this shift may widen divides, digital haves and digital have-nots. Nations that upgrade early and thoroughly may sprint ahead. Others may be left playing catch-up, constrained by infrastructure, capital, or policy. So the stakes are immense. This is not just about speed. It's about the architecture of our digital future. Who builds it, who controls it, who thrives on it. 10G is a tool, but used strategically, it could reshape power. In our final segment, we'll examine what this means for the world, opportunities, threats, and the shape of a new digital order. As China embraces 10G, ripples start spreading across the globe. This isn't an isolated upgrade, it's a domino, and what falls next will reshape connectivity, economy, competition, and perhaps even power. First, the opportunities. For nations willing to adopt 10G infrastructure, the benefits can be transformative. Imagine remote education at scale, with interactive online classrooms, telemedicine reaching remote areas with real-time diagnosis, cloud-driven businesses and startups thriving on high bandwidth, smart agriculture increasing productivity via IoT, digital governance offering citizens responsive services. Enterprises could run global operations, collaborate across continents, use real-time data analytics, host massive cloud workloads. Entrepreneurs in media, gaming, VR, AR, entertainment, the digital creators of tomorrow would have a new palette. For citizens, everyday life changes. No more waiting for downloads, no more buffering. Smart homes, IoT devices, connected cars, all working reliably. Digital inclusion, if done right, becomes real. But there are risks. A world where only some countries have 10G level infrastructure risks deepening global inequality. As major powers advance, less developed regions may lag, trapped in slow broadband, limited digital opportunities, reduced global competitiveness. Moreover, as infrastructure becomes more concentrated, power over data flows, content, governance, and technology standards consolidates. The nations leading 10G and the corporations building and managing the infrastructure may wield disproportionate influence. There are strategic and security implications too. High-speed, low-latency networks enable not just consumer applications, but potentially surveillance systems, data-intensive government operations, remote infrastructure control, critical industrial networks. The control over such networks becomes a matter of national power and vulnerability. For the rest of the world, policymakers, regulators, tech leaders, this is a wake-up call. The race isn't over 5G or 6G or even wireless. The race is now for next-generation fixed broadband, fiber-optic, 10G and beyond. Catching up will require investment, vision, and infrastructure overhaul. But with challenge come opportunity. Countries can leapfrog. They can design digital infrastructure smartly, combining 10G fiber with policies for open access, digital inclusion, data privacy, and fair regulation. They can avoid repeating mistakes of earlier digital divides. For global collaboration, this could mean new alliances, shared infrastructural projects, technology transfer, collaboration on standards, cloud services, cross-border data networks. The world could become more connected, more interdependent, or more sharply divided. In the end, the 10G launch in China is more than a headline. It's a milestone, a turning point, a stake in the ground that says this is what the future looks like. High speed, always on, data rich, connected, but also strategic, competitive, contested. What we decide now, how we respond, will shape whether that future becomes one of shared progress or of deepening divides. As the data pulses fade and the cables fall silent for now, one thing becomes clear. We stand on the threshold of a new digital era. What began as strands of glass and light, fiber optic cables, is fast turning into the nervous system of tomorrow's world. With 10G, what once was slow, distant, or impossible is now within reach. But this is only the beginning. What you've seen here is more than a technological breakthrough. It's a challenge to humanity's future, an invitation and a warning. The race for speed, connectivity, influence, it's underway. And you, watching now, are part of that race, as citizens, as digital consumers, as global participants. If you felt this journey gave you insight, if you believe the story matters, then stay with us. Subscribe to the ATM channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Deeper dives into how 10G and what follows will redraw the map of global power, technology, and everyday life. Hit that button, ring the bell, and join us on the edge of tomorrow. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next chapter.